Well, if you're looking at the map, Iceland is obviously on a strategic, important position in the high north, being where it is. Keeping a watchful eye of the high north from Iceland is obviously a important part of maintaining situational awareness of what's going on up north in the NATO area of responsibility. So Iceland is an important player in this. Obviously, as you know, they don't have their own armed forces, but they do support with their Coast Guard, and their Coast Guard is running their air surveillance mission here at Iceland, which is in place with the radars and systems to be able to maintain a 24/7 surveillance of the airspace around Iceland. And then we integrate into that part by being a first responder capability with the two F-35s that are on constant alert to be sent on their wings to intercept and identify any kind of threat to the airspace around Iceland. Well, the F-35 is what we call a fifth-gen aircraft, has multiple capabilities that are SA enhancing, so situational awareness enhancing for doing a mission like this. It's got awesome sensors that keep a good lookout on what's going on around us. So when we integrate that with the radar capability that are already existing on Iceland, it makes for a very good combination to keep a good understanding of what's going on.
Of course, it is deterrence in itself that we have the air policing, because it shows both the capabilities and the commitments of NATO. So if we didn't have that, we would be much more vulnerable here. Well, we have never in history have had armed forces. And we are, even though the country is kind of big, the nation is now around 370,000. And, not long ago, it was even smaller. So it would always be small. We have had, the bilateral defense agreement with the United States since 1951, and we're a founding member of NATO. So when you prioritize the project and look at what makes sense, this is the outcome, and I really don't think that's going to change, at least not in the nearest future. It was a very big thing when we decided to be a member of NATO, founding member at the time, and it was very controversial. Today we have more than 75% support of Iceland being a member of NATO, and now it's written out as the cornerstone of our national security policy. And obviously, with the war going on now, I think almost everyone can see what it would mean if we weren't. With the fact that we have a war in Europe, that creates a new reality, a new norm that most of us were told and believed that wouldn't happen again. It brings, the threat closer, and you can feel how big of a threat it is for Ukraine's neighbors, which are our neighbors and which are part of NATO. And it also shows that the values that we cherish and that we build our society on is, being attacked and is being tested. And if we can't be sure that those are the values that we're going to build our society on, Iceland doesn't stand a chance in Putin's world. So that is very clear, and that is why we stand very firmly with Ukraine and say out loud in every opportunity we get that Ukraine must win this war. That's the only way we can really have, peace again in Europe.